trust a tourist advertisement. Never trust a tourist advertisement. Hope I never have to use it, but something tells me I will.
Now get out!
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service. I did promise to meet you the moment you arrived.
Ah, much obliged, Mr. Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. It's unique, but you made it, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tide...
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience.
That's an eye-catching suit.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. A mere flood.
I take it you're a big fan.
Well, I have a particular weakness for it. Call it a...
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been...
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already... He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue.
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Can you tell me a little about Mr. Throgmorton?
A remarkable creature. Scion of a robust bloodline. A philanthropist, a scholar, a man of great ambitions, and even greater ego.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendation?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a...
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia. Gathering...
Does Oakmont really have much of a market?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better mo...
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot, or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station. This city is insular. Its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand.
Well, that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
No, no. The pleasure was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you. We'll meet again, Mr. Reed.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found, and that is fine.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say?
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of...
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you...
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man...
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people...
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other...
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. Albert's disappearance is the work of Innsmouthers. Mark my words.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police... But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damned city. The port.
So they're just... refugees?
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking...
Mr. Throgmorton, let me help you. I'm rather good at...
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrival.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway...
Vera. You have a point, newcomer.
I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? This fisherman supposedly brought him to the house.
Anything else? Where's the house where this all happened?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front.
You mentioned a lifeboat.
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
Sorry, did you just say...
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit. Vera means fine.
I see. As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
I've said everything I know.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer, and keep your hands where I can see them.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Hello?
Oh my.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
Tell me about yourself.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking it.
I want to know what happened.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds, and he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing, just dreams. Drowned.
Who is this K you keep mentioning?
Outsider, show some respect. Kay is our lord.
Sorry, I didn't know. Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea where Lewis or Throgmorton's son.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together,
I'll leave you to it.
please, detective, sir, tell me the truth.
I don't know yet, Will. The police will...
I'm afraid.
Choo-choo. Ahem. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
Glenna, Nehri, Glenna, Gebhal, Nugulina Haft.
Never seen seen knives like this before. Masterful work. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So that's what an Innsmouther looks like. Five cards short of a full house. I'm surprised they don't have someone's portrait here.
My head! I still hear those voices.
Choo choo. It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee.
Take this, ape-face.
What's happening?
Yeah, run!
Okay, let's see what we have here.
What's happening?
Take this, ape-face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee. So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots. Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong. Something in the pocket. The blood is fresh. Whoever it belongs to could not have got far. Door won't budge. The door won't budge. one fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
Stay alert. Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure. Hey, knock it off!
Welcome to Under the Keel.
I've seen some,
So you met a wild beast. They arrived in the flood. So,
and
if it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun hand, remember. Better to be a coward and live than brave.
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah, even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
Robert Throgmorton hired me to investigate his son's disappearance. I found the note about your debt to Lewis near his cold, dead body. And it looks like Lewis murdered Robert's kid.
What?
Don't what me. At best, you're harboring a criminal. At worst, tell that to Mr. Throgmorton.
No. No. Throg. Lewis is upstairs. Here's the key.
Smart man. Bye.
What the? Get the... Oh.
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles Reed, private investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can
I got nothing to hide.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Want to spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
no, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house. If he'd listened to me, we'd all...
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that ape. He was out cold. Then woke...
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in there, always conspiring behind our backs. Always...
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines, and there's the Carpenters who control most of the city's underworld, the Blackwoods who share kin with Innsmouthers through the...
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right, those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to have mercy.
I won't tell him. Everyone seems to agree there's been an outbreak of man plus. That said, the port's still closed.
Hide here, I guess.
I'll make something up to tell Throgmorton.
Thank you again, sir. Please, I told you the truth, I swear.
The port is closed by order of Robert Throgmorton. Back off.
Mr. Throgmorton,
What? I don't have...
some unusual creature.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than...
Yeah.
Try to...
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
No.
Yeah. I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
I've tracked down your son's murderer.
Where? Who is he?
And just as I suspected, the Innsmouther Lewis is responsible for your son's murder. He's hiding at the local bar. Just ask the bartender. Seems like he had a bone to pick with your family, and took it out on Albert.
Oh, that scum won't be getting off easy. The whole city shall see what happens when you cross justice. Bittersweet.
Mr. Throgmorton, I hate to press you, but do you think you could help me now?
Yes, you've earned it. Okay, to think a newcomer barely off the boat solves a crime the police couldn't, but I digress. Remind me, what brought you to Oakmont?
I'm looking into an outbreak of erratic behavior and madness, all linked to shared vision.
Indeed. Then our goals align. I funded an expedition to explore recent geologic...
Do these cases of hysteria involve shared visions as well?
Since the flood, many Oakmonters have had similar night...
Waterlogged ruins with unnatural architecture. A sleeping giant.
Her words exactly. She proposed the expedition. Desperately want...
A geological expedition? I'm not sure I follow.
I have reason to believe the flood and this madness have the same source. As a bog.
Has your expedition found anything?
I do not know. Albert was part of it.
You think your son was killed because the expedition uncovered something?
Is it so hard to believe? I had no news for a week, then Albert...
It does sound suspicious.
Mr. Reed, I want you to find out what's going on. I expect you're as interested in the expedition's results as I am.
What about my expenses?
They will be reimbursed after you complete your task. And of course, I'll also include a fair...
Bullets?
The dollar lost its use here, Mr. Reed.
If I'm going to look into...
I'll give you the address of the
That's all you can
Let me be clear.
I'm sorry, Mr. Throgmorton. I just meant the more I know, the better.
I am a busy man. I funded the research. When you've finished, come see me at the Throgmorton family manor. It's in Old Grove. Here, I'll show you.